After years of asking, GT7 have finally delivered. A new GT3 car, new tracks and all important improvements to online racing. It's all come in the form of the newly announced Spec 3 update. But what's in there and what does it mean for the loyal player base of GT7? I could have rushed something out last night, but I sat on it and thought about it. Could this be the start of the road to GT8? Let's dive in. First off, some context. In hindsight, this update isn't exactly coming out of nowhere. The Gran Turismo franchise recently passed a huge milestone of 100 million copies sold worldwide. So to celebrate this achievement, Polyphony is launching what they're calling one of the game's most significant updates yet, Spec 3, also referred to as Update 1.64. During the most recent September 2025 State of Play event, series creator Kaz Yamauchi formally announced that Spec 3 is coming to consoles in December. So what exactly are we being told is coming in Spec 3? Here's a roundup of the headline additions and changes. The one they actually left till last is the one I'm most interested in. Firstly, we have 8 new cars. The most significant for me being a couple of nostalgic ones in a stealthed out F1 car that looks like Michael Schumacher's famous 1994 Benetton, and a car I spent many hours of my youth in GT1 and GT2 in, the Mitsubishi FTO. But the showstopper here is a brand new shiny GT3 car in the Ferrari 296. This new generation Ferrari may not be a big deal to non-Gran Turismo drivers out there, but it is a big deal for us. For context of how big a deal, the latest gen Ferrari GT3 car that we have in the game is the 458 from 2013. That's the same year the iPhone 5 came out. 2 brand new tracks are also coming, in the form of the Yas Marina circuit, home of the Abu Dhabi F1 Grand Prix, and Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, home of the Canadian Grand Prix. The only current F1 Grand Prix tracks on Gran Turismo 7 are Suzuka, Interlagos, Monza, Barcelona Spa and the Red Bull Ring. So by adding these two, it increases the count by a massive 33%. Something else that we've never seen before is the new data logger feature. This will allow you to record and review telemetry. Things like your lines, throttle and braking input, speed, etc. will all be there for you to review native and in-game. This will open up a whole new world of realism. Such data can be used for things like setting up your car to optimize performance, analysing your own driving versus others, and even using these analytics for strategy choices. Alongside these first 3 items I mentioned, a plethora of nice additions and quality of life updates are scheduled as well. Dunlop will be added to the game as a tyre manufacturer, the collector level cap has been increased, you now get unlimited car invitations in Brand Central, so car collectors have a better shot of getting those invites to buy those cars that currently seem absolutely impossible to get hold of. Enhanced weekly challenges, we're going to get a new opening movie, we had the launch one, we had the new one for Spec 2 and now we're going to get another new one for Spec 3. We're going to get a new menu book seasonal menu and new events in circuit experience, presumably for the new tracks, and also new curations in Scapes. So that was a quick run through of all of the additions and changes, well, almost all of them. The final point on the update is improvements to online races, and this is the one I'm most interested in. Now there isn't much detail here, but ignoring the glaring needs of the overhauling of the penalty system and changes to the sportsmanship ratings to combat dirty driving, here are the top 5 things that I hope is going to be included in this Spec 3 update. First up, I'd like to see some quality of life improvements to custom lobbies. Custom lobbies are the absolute lifeblood of organised leagues and playing privately with your friends, and in my opinion these have just never been fit for purpose in GT7 and as a result have killed a vital community aspect of the game. Like we had in GT Sport, I hope there is again an option to password protect lobbies, so only those who should be there are. Currently you have to kick people out, which is not a nice thing to do. And even if once you do finally get the drivers you want into your event, ping improvements are also hugely needed to avoid the chonking as I call it, that when bad makes driving against others near on impossible. Next up, practice and quali before races. This could have easily been number 1 for me, to be honest, but rather than staring at the revolving timer or going crazy in time trial before races, after sign up it would be great to drop us into a live practice session with other drivers that then splits us into splits once it's time to go racing. This happens in almost every other sim that I can think of, and it would be something that I would love to see introduced here on Gran Turismo 7. The third thing I'd like to see, and I think I speak for many when I say this, is that we need bigger grids. 16 cars just isn't enough, especially when it becomes 15, 14 and then 13 as people drop out. On PC, titles have the capacity to reach 60 plus. Now that would be insane, but I don't expect that. I'd at least be happy with 24. Like password protected lobbies, we had that back on GT Sport, and I don't think that's too much to expect in 2025. For comparison, currently Mario Kart World has bigger grids than Gran Turismo 7. If we had the priorities of the race event format and grid sizes sorted, my penultimate hope would be the expansion of the current daily races structure. As we know, we only have 3 options that change weekly, which has not changed again since GT Sport. We get an annual official GTWS season and sometimes an exhibition season or 2, but because of the aforementioned issues with the custom lobbies, for most wanting to race online, it is this or nothing. I'd love to have a couple more options, like maybe a race D or E, or even just have a few tracks on rotation for each daily as Forza Motorsport does, just to keep it fresh. Finally, those who have got this far will probably think I am absolutely mad for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The thing I'd love to have most is a full iRacing style special event calendar here on Gran Turismo. My favourite thing to do out of everything in sim racing is to team up with some friends and take on a massive endurance event. Imagine on GT7 we had a 24 hours of the Nürburgring, 30 plus cars, full day night transition, dynamic weather and driver swaps. It would be absolutely incredible. So that's the update on what we've been told is coming and a little bit on what I hope is also coming. In conclusion, here's my take on everything. Just before the launch of GT7, there was obviously COVID and a chip shortage. So GT7 had to be throttled back to allow for both PS5 players and those who were stuck on PS4s while they couldn't get hold of PS5s to buy and play the game. And the release of content and features has been disrupted ever since. With Spec 3, I think we've been given a glimpse into what is around the corner, and the first brick in the road to GT8 has just been paved. And whilst the wait is frustrating, I for one am very excited for what the future holds. Thank you so much for watching, make sure you're subscribed and I'll catch you in the next one.